So, dear students, today we discuss about interference. So, what is interference? Interference is the phenomenon of a redistribution of energy in a medium due to superposition of two or more coherent waves. You know what are the conditions for coherent wave? Two waves are said to be coherent if they are having same wavelength, same frequency, and they are having either same amplitude or nearly same amplitude. This is the condition for coherent wave. Or you can say that they are having no phase difference or they are having constant phase difference throughout the propagation. This is the condition for also coherent waves. When two coherent waves superimpose on each other, then there is a redistribution of energy in the medium. That phenomenon of redistribution of energy in the medium is called interference. That means in interference there are some points where crest and crest will combine or trough and trough will combine, so that the intensity of light at these points is maximum. That are called constructive interference or maxima. And in some other points crest will combine with trough where intensity of the light will be minimum. In these regions we are getting destructive interference, or that is called minima. So let us study about what are the conditions for maxima and minima, or what are the conditions for constructive interference and destructive interference. Let us take two coherent waves. They are y1 is equal to a sin omega t and y2 is equal to b sin omega t plus phi. Here these are the two coherent waves where a and b are the amplitude of the two waves, phi is the phase constant that remains constant throughout the propagation. Due to superposition of the two waves, the resultant wave is given by y is equal to y1 plus y2. Let us put the values of y1 and y2. This will be a sin omega t plus b sin omega t plus phi, or that is equal to a sin omega t plus, open this, sin a plus b, sin a into cos b plus cos a into sin b. So this will be b sin omega t into cos phi plus b cos omega t into sin phi. Now from first two terms, let us take sin omega t common. So sin omega t, if you take common, then it will be a plus b cos phi plus the last term will be b sin phi into cos omega t. I will make this as one bracket and this as other bracket because this is the constant term, but this is variable because t is there, time is changing. This is also variable, here time is there, so it is changing. Now these two constant terms, suppose I will take these two constant terms as a plus b cos phi is equal to, suppose, r cos theta, and b sin phi I will take as r sin theta. So when you put these values here, so the resultant wave equation will now becomes y is equal to sin omega t into r cos theta plus r sin theta into cos omega t, or this will be, let us take r common, remaining sin a into cos b plus cos a into sin b is the formula. This will be sin a plus b is sin omega t plus theta. This is the equation of the resultant wave having amplitude r and phase constant theta. Now in this resultant wave, how to find the phase constant theta and the resultant amplitude r? How to find? Now by using these two equations we can find. Now let us divide these two equations. R sin theta by r cos theta is equal to b sin phi by a plus b cos phi. On dividing these two, we can write r sin theta by r cos theta, which is equal to b sin phi divided by a plus b cos phi, or implies r cancel each other. This will be tan theta. Tan theta is equal to b sin phi by a plus b cos phi, or implies theta is equal to tan inverse b sin phi by a plus b cos phi. So this is the phase constant of the resultant wave. Now let us find the amplitude of the resultant wave. How to find the amplitude of the resultant wave? Now let us square the both sides of the equation, this and then we add them. On adding and squaring and adding both sides of these two equations, what we are getting? Now see here. On squaring and adding, now this will be r sin theta whole square plus r cos theta its whole square, that is equal to b sin phi its whole square plus a plus b cos phi its whole square. Now your left side will be r square sin square theta plus r square cos square theta. If you take common r square, this will be sin square theta plus cos square theta, and the right side will be, this will be b square sin square phi plus, this will be a plus b whole square. Open this, it will be a square plus b square cos square phi plus 2ab cos phi. Your left side is now becomes r square because this will be 1. Only remaining, see here, let us write first a square plus this b square sin square phi, b square cos square phi. If you take b square common, this will be sin square phi plus cos square phi, that is equal to 1. So 1 into b square remains b square plus 2ab cos phi. This is the square of the resultant amplitude r square. Or this we can write r is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi its square root. Suppose I am writing as this is equation 1, this is equation 2. Now let us find the intensity. This is the amplitude resultant wave. Let us find the intensity of the resultant wave. Already you know intensity is directly proportional to amplitude square. This implies that if I1 is the intensity of the first wave, this is equal to some constant into a square, and if I2 is the amplitude of this second wave, then this will be k into b square. So intensity of the resultant wave now can be written as how? The intensity of the resultant wave is equal to k into r square, where r square is the amplitude of the resultant wave. The value of r square is written here in equation 1. Let us put the value here. Now this will be equal to k into a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi. This is the value of r square. Now from this equation, you see from this equation we can write a square is equal to I1 by k. From this equation we can write b square equal to I2 by k. So put the value of a square and b square here, and if you take the square root of here, a and b you can calculate, you can put here. So the resultant is now becomes I resultant is equal to k equal to a square is your I1 by k plus b square will be I2 by k plus 2 into a and b can be written as square root of I1 into I2 divided by k into cos phi. If you take common k, this will cancel each other. Now the resultant intensity becomes I1 plus I2 plus 2 square root of I1 into I2 into cos phi. I am taking this, suppose equation 3. Complete. Now we will find out the conditions for maxima and minima. First case 1 we will find out for maxima. You know at maximum is the intensity of the resultant wave should be maximum or amplitude of the resultant wave should be maximum. For this case your cos phi should be maximum because a and b are constant terms amplitude, I1 I2 also constant, so only changing is cos phi. So in maximum case cos phi should should be is equal to plus 1 because the maximum value cos is 1. So this indicates that the phi should be either 0 degree or 2 pi or 4 pi or 6 pi or 8 pi, dot like this. That means we can say that phi should be even multiple of pi radian 2 n pi. If you put n equal to 0, 0, n equal to 1, 2 pi, n equal to 4 pi, like this. So phi is equal to 2 n pi with, we can take n is an integer, n an integer. Clear? So for maximum case, phase difference should be even multiple of pi radian. Let us find the path difference. Already you know path difference x is equal to lambda by 2 pi into phase difference, which is equal to lambda by 2 pi into phi is equal to how much? 2 n pi. Now pi cancel each other. This implies x must be equal to the even multiple of lambda by 2. So for maximum, we can see that path difference between the two waves must be the even multiple of half of the wavelength. Now let us find the resultant amplitude and resultant intensity at the point of maximum. So what we will write? Resultant amplitude now becomes your cos phi is 1. So only remaining how much? A square plus b square plus 2ab its square. This is your a plus b whole square and the root over is there. So the resultant amplitude now becomes a plus b. This is the condition. If you calculate resultant intensity at the position of maximum, then this is the maximum result amplitude, and here this will be I1 plus I2 plus 2 square root of I1 I2. This we can write as I1 as square root of I1 whole square plus I2 can be written as square root of I2 its whole square plus 2 square root of I1 into I2. So this now becomes how much? Square root of I1 plus square root of I2 the total whole square. So this is the maximum amplitude at the point where the two crests or two troughs will combine, and this will be the maximum intensity. Complete. Now if you draw the graph for this case, then if you draw the graph, what the shape of the graph you see here. You know, at the point of maximum, crest face will combine or trough will combine. Here, suppose this is the first wave whose amplitude I am taking as suppose A, and this is the second wave whose amplitude we can take as B. But for maximum, crest will combine or trough will combine. When crest and crest will combine, the resultant amplitude becomes A plus B. So we are getting maximum amplitude, means this is the amplitude, the resultant of R is equal to A plus B. Similarly, when trough will combine, we are also getting the maximum, which is equal to minus of A plus B. This is the resultant wave. So at maximum we are getting more light or more energy because the amplitude of the two waves, first and second wave, will combine to produce the resultant wave. Okay. Now let us start with the condition for minima. For minima, case 2. For minima, you know, for minima, for the minimum value of cos phi, for maximum cos phi is plus 1, for minimum cos phi should be equal to minus 1. If cos phi is on minus 1, this indicates that phi must be equal to pi radian or 3 pi radian or 5 pi radian or 7 pi radian, like this. Means phase difference between the two waves must be odd multiple of pi radian, 2n plus 1 all into pi, where here also n is also an integer. Now if phase difference is odd multiple of pi radian, then what will the path difference between the two waves? The path difference x is equal to lambda by 2 pi into 5, which will equal to lambda by 2 pi into, this is 2n plus 1 into pi. Pi cancel each other. This indicate 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. So path reference must be odd multiple of half of the wavelength for getting minima. Complete. If the path difference is odd multiple number by 2 or phase difference odd multiple of pi radian, then that points are having less energy, we are getting minima there. Let us find the amplitude and intensity at the point of minima. Okay. Now, so at the point of minima, amplitude of the resultant wave, that is R minimum equal to how much? A square plus B square plus 2AB. Your cos phi is there, cos phi is minus 1 here, it's square root. This will be A minus B whole square, total square root. This becomes A minus B. And what is the minimum intensity of the resultant wave? This will be equal to I1 plus I2 plus 2 square root of I1 I2 into cos phi. Here cos phi is minus 1. So this will be square root of I1 its square, then square root of I2 its whole square, then minus 2 square root of I1 into I2. Means this will be equal to square root of I1 minus square root of I2 its whole square. This is the minimum of the resultant wave. Okay. Now if you draw the diagram for it, see here what is the diagram. So already I have told you before, at the point of minima, crest and trough will combine. Suppose this is the crest and this is the trough of one wave having amplitude A. The other wave is amplitude suppose B, and right here this is minus B. When both will combine, then what happens? If A is greater than B, we can add A minus B. If B is greater than A, we can add B minus A. So the resultant wave now will be of like this. This is the amplitude of the resultant R equal to A minus B. Complete? Okay. Now another thing right here, for interference, already I have told you both amplitudes are either same or nearly same. This we have already calculated by taking amplitude are nearly same. If amplitude are both are same, then what happens? If both amplitudes are same, if suppose I1 is equal to I2, if I1 equal to I2 or amplitude A equal to B, either intensity same or amplitude A equal to B, then at the point of maximum, R max will be A plus A, this can be the 2A, or resultant intensity is having maximum value how much? Root I1 plus root I1 its whole square, which will be equal to 4I, because I am taking as I1 and I2 are same. Since I am taking I1 and I2, which I take as I. And another point here, if A is equal to B, then R minimum is equal to how much? A minus B, which is equal to 0. And intensity of resultant wave at the minimum position is root I1 minus root I2 whole square, which will be equal to 0. Okay. Now let us try a graph by taking intensity along y-axis and phase angle phi along x-axis. This is 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi like this, and this is minus pi, minus 2 pi, minus 3 pi, minus 4 pi, minus 5 pi, and this is the position of maximum intensity. I will take as 4i. Already you know intensity will maximum when the phase difference is even multiple of lambda by 2. Even multiple means at the position of 2 pi, at the position of 4 pi, 6 pi like this, or here also minus 2 pi, minus 4 pi like this. And minimum at which points? When pi is or phase difference is odd multiple of pi. Means at this point is minimum, at this point is minimum, at this point is minimum. Here also minimum, minimum and minimum. Let us draw the graph. Here is maximum and at pi it is minimum. At 2 pi is maximum and it is minimum. Then 3 pi it is minimum. And at 4 pi it is maximum. Then at 5 pi it is minimum. At this side also same thing, minimum, then maximum, then minimum, then maximum, minimum, maximum like this. This is the resultant intensity distribution in interference. Okay, thank you.